Imagine waking up one day to find that your dream of moving to the United States is gone. Just like that. No warning, no second chances. That's the reality now for citizens of 6 Caribbean nations. The Biden administration has just dropped a bombshell and the backlash is already explosive. Why these countries? Why now? And what does this mean for the thousands of families who've spent years, even decades, chasing the American dream? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into one of the most controversial immigration decisions in recent history. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. For generations, the United States has stood as a beacon of hope, a land where hardworking immigrants could build a better life. But under the new 2025 immigration rules, 6 Caribbean nations have been slapped with a full travel ban. No visas, no asylum, no exceptions. Before you jump to conclusions, let's break this down. Because this isn't just about immigration. It's about geopolitics, economics, and some hard truths the U.S. government isn't openly admitting. Number 1, the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic, one of the Caribbean's strongest economies, a major U.S. ally, and a top destination for American tourists, is now banned. Why? Officially, the U.S. cites visa overstays and fraudulent documentation. But dig deeper, and it's really about Haiti. The Dominican Republic shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti. For years, it has served as a transit hub for Haitians fleeing crisis. Now, the U.S. says the DR hasn't done enough to stop the flow, so it's punishing the entire nation. Critics call it collective punishment, and the economic fallout? Catastrophic. Thousands of Dominicans work in the U.S. under seasonal visas, sending billions in remittances back home. That lifeline? Severed. Worse still, this move could push the DR closer to U.S. rivals like China, which is eager to expand its influence in the region. Number 2, Haiti. Haiti's inclusion may seem expected, but it's no less devastating. Gangs now control nearly 80% of the capital. The government is barely functional. Violence is rampant. The U.S. has been deporting Haitians en masse for years, but now, an outright ban. The justification? National security. They say Haiti is too unstable for proper vetting. But here's the truth. This won't stop migration. It will just make it deadlier. Desperate Haitians will still flee. Only now, they'll risk their lives on rickety boats or fall into the hands of smugglers. Human rights groups call the move inhumane. Many say the U.S. bears partial responsibility for Haiti's chaos, going back to the 2010 earthquake and failed aid efforts. Still, the Biden administration stands firm. Number 3, Jamaica. Jamaica's addition has caused outrage, confusion, and accusations of discrimination. This is not a country in crisis. Jamaica is a stable democracy with a thriving tourism sector and deep ties to the U.S. So why now? The official reasons? High visa, overstay rates, fraudulent asylum claims. But let's look at the numbers. Jamaica's visa overstay rate hovers around 4 to 5%. That's lower than countries like Nigeria, which had over 10%, and yet not banned. So why single out Jamaica? Critics say the real reason is fear of crime and deportation complexities. Yes, Jamaica has a gang violence issue, but over 70% of illegal firearms in Jamaica come from the United States. Economic consequences for Jamaica. This ban is an economic blow. Over $3 billion in remittances now blocked. Thousands of Jamaican workers on H-2A and H-2B visas suddenly jobless. Family separation intensifies. U.S. industries, from agriculture to hospitality, are feeling the loss. And Jamaica? They're considering retaliation. Limiting U.S. investments, forging deeper ties with China, filing international legal complaints. This is not just a visa issue, it's a diplomatic fracture. Number 4, Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is one of the wealthiest Caribbean nations, thanks to oil and gas. So why is it on the banned list? The U.S. points to terrorism concerns, citing a small number of nationals who joined extremist groups. But that number? Less than 0.001% of the population. Critics say this is really about energy politics. The U.S. may be pressuring Trinidad to align with its energy policies by squeezing its economy. For ordinary citizens, this is devastating. Families are divided and business ties severed. Number 5, Guyana. Guyana is no longer a quiet nation on the northern coast of South America. It's now the fastest growing economy on Earth, thanks to massive oil discoveries that have drawn global attention. But while investors celebrate, Washington has dropped a bombshell. Guyanese citizens are now banned from entering the United States. Why? The official explanation: corruption, money laundering, and fears that Guyanese elites might use U.S. visas to funnel dirty money across borders. But behind closed doors, the whispers say something different. This isn't about visas. It's about geopolitical leverage. China has been pouring money into Guyana, building infrastructure, cutting deals, and cozying up to the government. The United States, worried about losing influence in its own backyard? This ban? It's not just a policy, it's a warning. Choose your allies, or suffer the consequences. But the ones truly paying the price aren't politicians or oil barons. They're the ordinary Guyanese people. Families torn apart by sudden restrictions. Students forced to cancel study plans. Elderly parents denied reunions with children abroad. And for a nation just beginning to rise, this move sends a chilling message. Success comes with surveillance. Independence comes at a cost. What should have been Guyana's moment of global arrival has become a moment of exclusion, isolation, and uncertainty. Number 6. The Bahamas. For decades, the Bahamas has been America's favorite escape. Just a short flight from Miami, this Caribbean jewel has welcomed millions of U.S. tourists, honeymooners, and cruise passengers. And now, its citizens are barred from stepping foot in the United States. Why would the U.S. turn on such a close neighbor? The stated reason: document fraud. But multiple regional analysts point to something else: maritime migration. When disaster strikes, be it hurricanes, economic crashes, or rising crime rates, some Bahamians and regional migrants take to the seas, hoping to land safely on Florida's shores. The U.S. has grown weary of intercepting boats, and instead of addressing the systemic root causes, it's chosen the easier route: ban them all. But here's the hypocrisy. The Bahamas has been one of America's closest allies in cracking down on illegal migration from Haiti and Cuba. They've enforced maritime patrols. They've detained migrants. They've done the heavy lifting on behalf of U.S. interests, and yet, when things got complicated, they were cut off without warning. This isn't just a ban, it's a betrayal. It tells regional allies, help us until you're a burden. Support us until you no longer serve our needs. The consequences? Families broken, students stranded, businesses devastated. And for the average Bahamian, this isn't just about travel. It's about dignity, respect, trust shattered. The United States has every right to protect its borders, but what it's done instead is punish entire nations for the actions of a few. This isn't smart diplomacy, it's blunt force foreign policy. Instead of precision, we're seeing collective punishment. Instead of leadership, we're seeing power plays. China, Russia, and other world powers are watching. They see opportunity where America has created resentment. And while the U.S. loses trust, the Caribbean loses hope. Opportunity, stability. This ban won't fix fraud. It won't stop corruption. And it certainly won't slow illegal migration. But it will fracture alliances, destroy goodwill, and leave scars that last for generations. 6 countries, thousands of lives, one decision that changed everything. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the headlines, don't just scroll away, let your voice be part of the change. Comment below, which of these bans shocked you the most? Share this video with someone who still believes borders can't be political weapons. Subscribe to Adventure Chuckles for more eye-opening stories the mainstream doesn't show. We dive deeper, we ask the hard questions, and we never stop telling the truth. Because the world is changing, and you deserve to know how and why. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.